Good day everyone, this is Ma'am Jo and welcome to another video lesson discussion in General Mathematics. For today, we're going to have operations on functions. Our learning objectives for this topic are the following. Perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of functions, and solve problems involving functions. Okay, let us start. In economics, the profit in a certain product can be obtained by subtracting the cost from the revenue. So here, the profit is represented by P of x, cost by C of x, and revenue by R of x. So using function models, we can write this one as P of x is equal to R of x minus C of x. If the revenue is represented by the function R of x is equal to 125x, and the cost function is C of x is equal to 100x plus 1,500, how will you represent the function or the profit? So here, we have two functions that we need to subtract in order to obtain another function. So if we're going to perform the operation, which is subtraction, what do you think will be the representation for the profit function? Any guess? When a fundamental operation is applied to two or more given functions, a new function can be formed. So let f and g be any two functions. The sum, difference, product, and quotient are functions whose domains are the set of all real numbers common to the domain of f and g, and can be defined as follows. For additions, we have f plus g of x is simply equal to f of x plus g of x. For subtraction, you have f minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. For multiplication, you have f times g of x is also equal to f of x times g of x. And for division, you have f divided by g of x is equal to f of x over g of x, where g of x should not be equal to 0, or the denominator should not be equal to 0, so that the function will not be undefined. There are another operation which is the composition of functions, which will be discussed on the next video. Okay, let's start with addition of functions. So we have the given f of x is equal to 4x minus 5, g of x is equal to x squared minus 4, and the value for each of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. You are asked to find f plus g of x and g plus h of x. Okay, these are the given. For number 1, you are asked to find f plus g of x. So we know that that is simply equal to f of x plus g of x. So all we have to do is to substitute the value of f of x, which is 4x minus 5, and g of x is x squared minus 4. Now, since this is addition, we only combine similar terms. When we say similar terms, these are terms with the same literal coefficients or letters or variables, and they should have the same exponent. So in our given, you have here x squared and x. They have the same letters, which is x, but they don't have the same exponent. So this one is 2, this one has an exponent of 1, so you cannot combine them. So you can only combine those terms that have the same variable and the same exponent. So to simplify this one, we simply copy, or your sum should be arranged in descending powers of x. So for x squared, we're going to copy that one. And then for x, there is no other terms which has an x variable. So we also copy that one. And we will simply combine negative 5 and negative 4. So what would be the answer, guys? Okay, correct. So our final answer will be x squared plus 4x minus 9. So this is arranged in descending powers of x from the exponent to 1 and then 0. So I hope you get the answer correctly. Okay, let's do the second problem. Find g plus h of x. So again, this is simply equal to g of x plus h of x. So substituting the value for g of x, we have x squared minus 4. And for h of x, you have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Again, combining similar terms. So what are the similar terms? So we have here x squared and x squared. So we combine that one, we add it. So we simply add the numerical coefficient. So you have 1 and then 1. And then we simply copy the literal coefficient. So that will give us 2x squared. Now for the degree 1, we only have here 5x. So we will simply copy that one. And then for the constant, we have negative 4. And then you have positive 6. So combining that one, that will give us positive 2. So what will be our final answer, guys? Okay, so if your answer is 2x squared plus 5x plus 2, you got the correct answer. So congratulations. So this will be our final answer. Okay, guys, remember that addition is commutative. When we say commutative, the order of the addends does not affect the sum. So whether you write first h of x before adding g of x, it doesn't matter because you will still get the same answer, this one, because they are commutative. So again, when we say commutative, the order of the addends, when you add them, will not affect the sum or your final answer. I hope that is clear. Okay, let's have problem number 3. So we still have the same given, but this time you're asked to find f plus h of x and f plus h of 2. So how does these two unknown or two problem differ from one another? So for the first one, you are asked to find or to add the two functions f and h. Now for number 2 problem, you are asked to evaluate the added function at 2. So that means you add first the function and whatever is your answer, you have to evaluate it at 2. Okay? So I hope that is clear. So let's do it. So let's have f of x plus h of x. So again, this is simply equal to the value of f of x, which is 4x minus 5, and h of x is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Again, this is addition, so we combine similar terms, descending powers of x. So we start with x squared. So we simply copy that one. And then for 5x, positive 5x plus 4x, what will be the answer? Okay, that is correct, 9x. And then for the constant, we have negative 5 and positive 6. That will give us a sum of what? Okay, that is correct, 1. So therefore, our final answer will be x squared plus 9x plus 1. Did you get it correctly? Okay, very good. Now, for problem number 2, since we already add the two functions, so we will evaluate your answer by 2. Meaning, we will simply substitute or replace all the x's here by 2. So this will be equal to x squared plus 9 times 2. So 9x means multiplication plus 1. So what is 2 squared? Okay, correct. That is 4. And then you have 9 times 2 is? Correct. That is 18. And then plus 1. So what is 4 plus 18 plus 1? Yes, the final answer will be 23. So this is your answer for f plus h of 2. We evaluate the function at 2. And this is the sum of the function. So I hope that is clear, guys. Okay, this time let's have subtraction of functions. So the difference will be f minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. So we have the same given, but this time you are asked to find g minus h of x, h minus g of x, and g minus h of negative 1. Okay, so these are the given. Let us do first h minus g of x. So again, this is equal to h of x minus g of x. So the value for h of x is x squared plus 5x plus 6 minus the quantity g of x squared minus 4. Now, since this is subtrahend, we have learned in subtraction of polynomials that we have to change the sign of the subtrahend. So that is also applicable for subtraction of function. So we change the sign of the subtrahend. We change the sign of all the terms in the subtrahend. So for here, we have here positive x squared, and this is negative 4. So this is your subtrahend, the number being subtracted. So we will change the sign of this one. So what will be now the sign? Okay, so we will remove them in the parentheses. This one will be as is. Nothing will change with their sign. So that will give you x squared plus 5x plus 6. And from positive, we change it to negative x squared. And from negative 4, we change it to positive 4. So again, we first change the sign of the subtrahend if the operation is subtraction. Now, after changing the sign of all the terms in the subtrahend, we will now combine similar terms. So we will again apply the rules in addition. So which are the similar terms here? Okay, correct. So we have here positive x squared and negative x squared, but they have different sign, so we can cancel that one. So that will give us 0. And then we have the remaining number or terms, which is 5x. So we just simply copy this one. And then we combine the constant positive 6 plus 4. So what will be the answer for that? Correct. So what will be the final answer? Okay, so the final answer will be 5x plus 10. So this is how you do subtraction. You have to change first the sign of the subtrahend before combining similar terms. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, let's have now the last two problems. So we have find g minus h of x and g minus h of negative 1. So let's do first the first problem. So this is simply equal to g of x, which is x squared minus 4, minus h of x, which is the quantity x squared plus 5x plus 6. So there you go. Now again, we change the sign of the subtrahend. So all the sign of the terms in the subtrahend are positive. So that will only become positive. And then we will remove the grouping symbol parentheses so that we will have now x squared minus 4 minus x squared minus 5x minus 6. And then we combine similar terms. Again, what are the similar terms? Yes, that is x squared and positive x squared and negative x squared. So we combine them. You are correct. That will be cancelled out. And then we will simply copy negative 5x. There is no other term with an x variable. And then we combine negative 4 and negative 6. So what will be the sum for that? Correct. That is negative 10. So our final answer will be, okay, if you have negative 5x minus 10, you are correct. Okay. Now, let's solve the second problem. So we have g minus h of negative 1. So we will simply replace x by negative 1. So this will be negative 5 times the quantity of negative 1 minus 10. What is negative 5 times negative 1? Okay, positive 5, correct. So that will be positive 5 minus 10, and what will be our difference? Okay, so if your answer is negative 5, you are correct. So I hope that is clear. Okay, now remember that subtraction is not commutative. If you will notice in our previous answer, we have h minus g. The answer is 5x plus 10. And here we have g minus x. We have negative 5x minus 10. So g minus h is not equal to h minus g. That's why subtraction is not commutative, meaning the order of the two functions will affect your final answer. So please be careful on writing which comes first, or which function are you going to write first and which will be the subtrahend. Okay, is that clear? Okay, good. Okay, let's have now the next example. So the same given, but this time you are asked to find f minus g plus h of x. So this will be equal to f of x minus g of x plus h of x. So we simply substitute the value of f of x, which is 4x minus 5, minus the value of g of x, which is x squared minus 4, plus the value of h of x, which is x squared plus 5x plus 6. So we enclose them in a parenthesis. So this is it. Now, you will notice that this is a combination of subtraction and addition. And then applying the rule for subtraction, we have to change the sign of the subtrahend or all the terms after the negative or the minus symbol, the subtraction symbol. So x squared will become negative and negative 4 will become positive. And then we remove the parentheses. So we will have now, bring down 4x minus 5. We change x squared to negative and negative 4 to positive 4. And then we bring down x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now, we will proceed to addition. So we combine similar terms. Which are the similar terms? Okay, so we have the negative x squared and the positive x squared. So when we combine them, what will be the answer? Okay, so correct, that will be cancelled out or 0. Another similar terms. Okay, so we have 4x and 5x, correct. So what will be the sum for that? Okay, if your answer is 9x, you are correct. And then for the last one, we have negative 5 plus positive 4. What will be the answer? Okay, that will be negative 1. And then we add 6. So negative 1 plus 6. So that will be, okay, correct, positive 5. So therefore, what will be our final answer? So you will have now 9x plus 5. If you got this, if you have this answer, you are correct. Okay? So I hope that is clear. Again, for subtraction, you have to change the sign of the subtrahend. I hope I made it clear. Okay, guys? Okay, let us proceed now to multiplication of functions. So for the product, we have f times g of x is simply equal to f of x times g of x. So we have the same given again, but you are asked to find f times g of x and g times h of x. Okay guys, let's do the first problem. You are asked to find f times g of x. So again, this is simply equal to f of x times g of x. So the value for f of x still is 4x minus 5. And for g of x, you have x squared minus 4. So since this is multiplication, this time we're going to apply the laws of exponent. So what are the laws of exponent? So for that, we simply multiply the numerical numbers or numerical coefficient, and for the literal coefficients, if they have the same variable, we simply add the exponents. But if they have if the variables are different, we simply copy them. Okay, so here you can also apply either FOIL method or distributive property. So let's apply the FOIL method. I know you are familiar with that. So let's have the first term multiplied by the first term. So you will have 4x times x squared. So what will be the answer, guys? Okay, you have to add the exponent. So that will give you 4x cubed. And then we have 4x times the negative 4. So multiply negative 4 and 4. That will give you negative 16x, correct. And then we have now the second term, negative 5 times x squared, or the inside term. So what will be the answer, guys? Okay, you are correct. Negative 5x squared. And the last one will be negative 5 times negative 4. For multiplication, negative times negative, that will be, okay, that will be positive, and 5 times 4 is 20. So there you go. This will be your initial answer. Now, to get your final answer, all you have to do again is to combine similar terms if there are similar terms. If there is no similar terms, if there is none, all you have to do is to arrange your answer into descending powers of x. Okay, you arrange this one. So we will write first 4x cubed, followed by negative 5x squared, and then negative 16x, and then 20. So this will be your final answer. Did you follow, guys? Okay, I hope so. Okay, remember that like addition, just like in addition, multiplication is also commutative. So writing the order of the factors will not affect your product. Okay, same goes with your addition. So the arrangement this time of the factors, you call this one factors. Okay, the two terms or the two polynomials that are being multiplied, so you call them factors. So whatever is written first will not affect your answer. Okay? So they are addition and multiplication are commutative. I hope that is clear. Okay, let's have another example for multiplication. Same given. This time you are asked to find g times h of x. and g times h of 2. Okay, so again for g times h of x, this is the same as g of x, which is x squared minus 4, multiplied by h of x, which is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, so again, we apply the laws of exponents. Here, we have here 2 terms and 3 terms. So we will do the distributive property. Okay, so let's multiply x squared times x squared. Again, what's the answer for that? Okay, so you add the exponent, so you will have x to the 4th. Now, let's proceed with x squared times 5x. Okay, correct. You have positive 5x cubed. And then you have x squared times positive 6. What will be the answer? Okay, correct. That is positive 6x squared. Okay, we're done with the first term. Let's have now the second term of the binomial multiplied by the first term of the trinomial. So you will have negative 4 times x squared. What will be your answer? Okay, if your answer is negative 4x squared, you are correct. Let's have now negative 4 times positive 5x. Okay, they have different signs, so your answer will be, okay, that will be negative 20x. And the last one, you have negative 4 times positive 6. What will be the answer? Okay, so 6 times 4 is 24. So we will have now negative 24 since they have different signs. Okay, very good. I hope you follow for the first step. And then after multiplying, again, we do the combining of similar terms. Can you see any similar terms in the given, in our initial answer? Okay, so we have here 6x squared and negative 4x squared. They are similar. The rest, we simply copy them. So what will be the sum for positive 6x squared and negative 4x squared? Okay, very good. That will be positive 2x squared. So your final answer will be copy x to the 4th, bring down 5x cubed, and then your answer here is positive 2x squared minus 20x minus 24. I hope you get it right. Did you follow, guys? Okay. Now, let's proceed with problem number 2. You have g times h of 2. Again, this is simply evaluating the function or the product of the function at 2. We will simply replace all the x here in our answer by 2. So we'll have 2 raised to 4 plus 5 times 2 raised to 3 or 2 cubed plus 2 times 2 squared minus 20 times 2 minus 24. And then we simplify them. So what is 2 to the 4th power? Okay guys, that is not 2 times 4. That is not 8. It means you multiply 2 by itself 4 times. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. What's the answer? Okay, very good. That will be 16. Okay, so this time we have now 2 to the 3rd power. So multiply 2 by itself 3 times. So that will be, okay, correct, 8 times 5. Okay, that will be 40. Okay, good. And then here, you simplify first exponent again. So 2 squared. Okay, that is 4 times 2. Okay, that is also 8. And then we proceed with negative 20 times 2. Okay, that is negative 40. And then we copy negative 24. Okay, the next step is to simplify this one. You can add all the positive first and all the negative. So we can add 16 plus 40. What is the answer, guys? Okay, that is 56 plus 8. Okay, correct. That is 64. Positive 64 since they are all positive. Okay, I cannot write it properly. Okay, let's have this one. Negative 40 minus 24. Okay, this is also 64. But in addition, we copy the sign. So this will be negative 64 since they have the same sign. Now we combine the two. Positive 64 and negative 64. What's your answer? Okay, if your answer is 0, you are correct. So the final answer will be g times h of 2 is simply equal to 0. Okay, did you follow, guys? Okay, I hope so. Okay, again, remember that multiplication is commutative. Even if you write x squared plus 5x plus 6 first, and then you write x squared minus 4 second, you will still get the same answer for this one. Okay? I hope that is clear. Okay, let's move on now to the last operation, which is division. So for the quotient, you have here f divided by g of x is equal to f of x over g of x, where g of x, or your denominator, should not be equal to 0, so that our function will not be undefined. So still the same given, but this time you are asked to find f divided by g of x and g divided by h of x. Okay, let's have the solution for f divided by h of x. So this would be equal to f of x divided by h of x. So your f of x is 4x minus 5 and g of x is x squared minus 4. So for division, the first thing that you're going to do is to factor the numerator and the denominator. So you will be using the different methods of factoring. So for the numerator, you will notice that this one is a prime number. So there is no other factor except for x minus 5 and 1. So this is still for x minus 5. Now for the denominator x squared minus 4, this is classified as the difference of two squares. And we can factor this one, and the result will be the sum and difference of two binomials. So what will be the factor? So you will have sum and difference. So you will have x minus 2 and x plus 2. Okay? And then we simply copy for x minus 5. Now, if you will notice, even if we factor out the denominator, there is no term that can be cancelled out. Okay? So you have here 4x minus 5. There is no another 4x minus 5 in the denominator. So nothing can be cancelled out. So therefore, your final answer is the same. 4x minus 5 divided by x squared minus 4. Is that clear? Okay, you just review your the different types of factoring because it was discussed with you during your junior high school. Okay? Okay, this time let's have g divided by h of x. So we have here, this is equal to g of x, which is x squared minus 4, divided by h of x, which is x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, again, we have to factor the numerator and the denominator first. So we already classified x squared minus 4 as a difference of two squares, and when we factor them, the result will be the sum and difference of two binomial. Now, for the denominator, this one is classified in factoring as quadratic trinomial. So your factor are two binomials also. It could either be the same sign or different sign. So two binomials, whether they have different sign or same sign. But since this is positive and positive, they are both positive, the middle term and the last term, so your binomials or the factors are both positive. Okay? Now, to factor them, you think of a number for 6, two numbers or two factors, when you multiply will be equal to 6. And when you add will be equal to 5. The same number, when being multiplied equal to 6, and when you add those two numbers also will be equal to 5. Okay, can you think of any number? Factors of 6? You can have 6 times 1, but when you add 6 and 1, that will be 7. We can also have 3 and 2, that is 6, and when you add it, that will be, yes, that will be 5. So therefore, for the numerator, we have x plus 2 and x minus 2, and for the denominator, you have x plus 3 and x plus 2. Okay, you will notice that there is a common factor which is x plus 2, so we can cancel out 1 in the denominator and numerator. So that will be equal to 1, and the remaining factors will be your final answer. So therefore, you have g of x divided by h of x is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 3, where x should not be equal to negative 3, so that the function will not be equal to undefined. Okay, so I hope that is clear. You just have to review again your the methods of factoring. Okay? Is that clear, guys? Okay. Okay, let's have another example. You have given f of x is equal to x squared plus x minus 12 divided by x squared minus 16. And then g of x is 2x squared minus 6x. And then you are asked to find f divided by g of x. So we simply substitute f of x, the value, divided by the value of g of x. So the resulting function here is a complex fraction. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is to get the reciprocal of the denominator, and then we will proceed to multiplication. So we'll have the numerator x squared plus x minus 12 divided by x squared minus 16 multiplied by the reciprocal of 1 of the denominator, that will be 1 over 2x squared minus 6x. And then the next step is to factor all the numerators and all the denominators. So for the numerator here, this one, can you recognize it? Okay, so this is also quadratic trinomial. So we will use the method for that. So since this is a quadratic trinomial, you will have two binomials. But this time, since the last term is negative, the sign of the binomials are different. So one is positive and one is negative. Okay, so can you think of two numbers or two factors for 12? When you multiply, that will be equal to 12. But when you subtract, why do you have to subtract? Because they have different sign, the binomials. Will be equal to positive x. Okay, can you think of any two numbers? Okay, that will be 4 and 3. So 4 times 3, that will be 12. And 4 minus 3 is 1. But you have to place the higher number in the positive binomial, since the middle term here is positive. Okay, so what will be our factors? Okay, correct. That will be x plus 4 and x minus 3. Okay, I will write it down later. Now, for the denominator, you will have x squared minus 16. Again, this is difference of two squares. So the resulting factor will be sum and difference of two binomials. They have also different sign. And then for the 16, you have 4 and 4. So therefore, you simply have x plus 4 and x minus 4 for the denominator. And this one is our answer earlier, x plus 4 and x minus 3. So 4 is in the positive because you have the middle term positive. The higher number should be in the positive sign. Okay, now for this one, so we can factor 2x squared minus 6x. If you will notice, there is a common factor for 2 and 6. So this one, we can use the common monomial factor. For 2 and 6, what is the greatest common factor? Yes, that will be 2. And then for x squared and x, we simply get the lower exponent. So your common monomial will be 2x times x minus 3. This will be the other factor. Did you follow, guys? Okay, I hope so. Now, so looking at the factors for all the numerator and denominator, you will notice that we have a common factor here, x plus 4, so we can cancel this out. That will be equal to 1. And then we also have x minus 3, 1 in the numerator, 1 in the denominator, so we can cancel them out. Okay, you can do the cancellation vertically or diagonally for as long as the 1 is in the numerator and 1 is in the denominator. That will be equal to 1. But you cannot do cancelling when both factors are on the same numerator or the same denominator. Okay? So it should be 1 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator. Okay, can you follow? Okay, so now we have here the remaining factors. You have 1, x minus 4, and 2x. So we will write this one as your initial answer. And then to have your final answer, all you have to do is to simplify the denominator. So 2x times the quantity x minus 4, what's the answer? Okay, if your answer is 2x squared minus 8x, you are correct. So the final answer will be 1 over 2x squared minus 8x. I hope you follow the procedure. Okay, let's have another example. The same given, but this time you are asked to find g divided by f of negative 2. So since you are not asked to find the quotient of the function, but instead the quotient of the function at -2. So I will show you another way of solving this one. So this will be equal to g of -2 divided by f of -2. So g of 2, for the g of x, you have the function 2x squared minus 6x. And then for the f of x, we have x squared plus x minus 12 divided by x squared minus 16. And then since this is -2, meaning we're going to evaluate each function at -2. So let's do first g of -2. So substitute -2 to all the x's. That will give us 2 times the quantity of -2 squared minus 6 times -2. What is -2 times 2, guys? Okay, correct. That is 4 positive. That will become positive times 2. That will be, okay, 8. And -6 times -2 is, okay, correct. That will be positive 12. And what is 8 plus 12? Okay, that will be 20. So that will be the value of g of -2. Now, let's have now f of -2. So again, we just replace all the x's by -2 in this given function. So that will give you -2 squared plus -2 minus 12 divided by -2 squared minus 16. And what is -2 squared? Yes, correct. That is positive 4 plus the -2 is, okay, that will be positive 2 minus 12. So 2 minus 12, that will be, okay, that will be -10 for the numerator. And for the denominator, you will have -2 squared again is, okay, that is 4 minus 16. So that is, okay, -12. So we will have now -10 divided by -12. If we're going to reduce this one to lowest term and simplify the sign, that will give us, okay, correct, that will be positive 5 over 6. So this will be the value of the function f at -2. And then after that, all you have to do is to substitute the given. So here, this will be equal to 20 divided by the value of f of -2, which is 5 over 6. We get the reciprocal of the denominator. So that will give you 20 times 6 over 5. So we can cancel 20 divided by 5. That is 4 times 6. And our final answer will be, okay, very good. So the final answer will be 24. So therefore, g divided by f of -2 is equal to 24. Is that clear? Okay. So I hope everything is clear to you. If you have any questions, just simply go back with the video and then rewatch it. Okay? Okay, this ends our discussion for today. So kindly visit the Google Classroom for your activities. And then again, this is Ma'am Jo, and we'll see you on our next video lesson discussion, which is composition of functions. Thank you. Okay, that ends our discussion for this topic. Kindly visit the Google Classroom for your activities. And then for our next discussion, we will have the composition of functions. Thank you.